Alright, hey guys, my name is Alpha Redhawk, and I thought I'd do a quick update video on Valdis story, Abyssal City, because I downloaded the update about 2 weeks ago. I've been playing around with it quite a lot, and I thought I'd do a bit of a summary of it and my feelings towards the update. I'll get it right out there to start with. The update is fantastic, it adds a lot of new stuff, so if you haven't played it for a while, I would definitely suggest going back and playing it, and if you never purchased it in the first place, I would definitely suggest buying it, because it's now a better game than ever, essentially. I'll spend a little while talking about sort of the overall changes without any spoilers, and then I'll go on to talk about what I think of certain little changes and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, to get started with, the main change that I think has been added, or what I consider the main change, is he's now added Valdis and Gilda as playable characters. And they're actually fantastic playable characters. I was worried that they were going to feel shoehorned in and they weren't going to work properly in the world, but they actually work brilliantly in it. They're very different playstyles, and you have to have finished the game once with either Wyatt or Raina to unlock being able to play them, but they work marvelously. They're completely altered playstyles and will completely change the way you think about combat. Valdis is a range type. He has a pistol. He also has like his demon arm, but the main thing he does is fires the pistol and summons minions, and his minions are powerful as all hell. He's got several different types of minions. It's fantastic. His ability to use minions is great, and I think it actually opens up a really interesting possibility for a playthrough where you don't attack ever. You just summon minions and let them do your thing. I think that would be an interesting kind of playthrough, especially on Godslayer. But anyway, so Valdis is interesting, and he also doesn't follow the same exact story structure that the other characters do. Then there's also Gilda, who is a magic caster type, a sorcerer type, and so essentially she just does nothing but magic spells. She's interesting because her block is completely different. Like, her block is kind of like Aegis for Raina. It's just like a small AoE attack that basically protects her from damage for a second. So I like certain aspects of Gilda, but I vastly prefer Valdis at this point in time. So I think that was the biggest change. Another really big change is there's 2 new zones have been added, and some of the smaller zones have been changed. Some of the areas in total have also been tweaked a bit to make jumping a bit more friendly, because some of the areas in the prison, for example, were really shit to get out of, and now the ledges have been added to make it easier, etc, etc. But the 2 new zones are really high level stuff, so you won't see them for a while. I went back through with a level 20 character that I previously had, played through the zones just to see what they were like, and they were really fun. There's 4 new bosses that have been added, and I, for the life of me, cannot S-rank one of them. I've S-ranked all the others, and the S-rank rewards are now even more interesting than previous. For example, one of the bosses, and I'm not going to say which one, when you S-rank it, it reduces the total MP cost of all of your spells by 10%, which I think is an awesome reward for an S-rank. I think it's fantastic. So those are kind of the major changes. There's also been some moved around chests and new items placed. Like, I think there's now more magic lanterns in the game, so I think you can upgrade spells further. I'm not entirely sure, or not further, but you can upgrade more spells. I could be wrong about that though. There's new vendors in each area and a new item type, which should be helpful. I haven't used them yet because I'm stubborn and stuff like that. They're called elixirs, and they essentially just make you immune to certain status effects for a certain period of time. And they're very useful in some of the new areas. But I think those are all the major changes. Oh, there's also been some altered enemies. So if you've played the game before and you're going back through areas and you find a new enemy, or a reskinned enemy, it is actually a new enemy. It doesn't just function the exact same way the old one does, and they're a pain in the ass, because I have no idea how to fight them effectively. So that's going to take some getting used to, I'm telling you now. But they're a great addition to the game. I think pretty much everything that has been added thus far in this update has been a fantastic addition. The lore has been expanded, the world has been expanded, the boss fights are, I'm actually going to say, easier. Like the ones that were in the game prior to this update are now easier. And I'm not sure why. I know that some of the magic damage has been altered, so magic is now more balanced from the start. For example, what is it, Divine Decoy or Divine Clone or whatever it is that I used in my magic only playthrough religiously for the first sort of area of the game, now costs a hell of a lot more MP, but it's also a hell of a lot more powerful. Those are kind of the main changes, I guess. So if you don't really want to know about any of the other changes that I've noticed, then I would say turn off now, go and play the game, and, you know, see how that goes. See what the game's like, see if you prefer it the way it is now, see if you preferred it before. I think it is a better game now, for the most part, I really do. But some of the smaller changes that I've noticed, and perhaps that I'm not so happy with, or perhaps that I don't like so much, the main one that I've noticed is Teachings of Lifeblade. That's been changed up drastically. It's no longer an accessory that you equip. It is now a key item. So you find it, and it means that when you go into focus mode, you now deal bonus damage to gods and demigods. The same way that it worked before, except from what I've noticed, you don't actually lose health every time you make a move, which kind of sucks. And you're probably thinking, but that's how Teachings of Lifeblade worked. How does it work now? Essentially, just before the final boss, or not the final boss, just before an enemy, there is an NPC, and if you talk to that NPC, he says, "Bring me Teachings of Lifeblade, and I will teach you its secrets." And if you take Teachings of Lifeblade to him, or if you go to him while it's in your items, it now, or he, I should say, teaches you a finishing move that deals a butt ton of damage, but takes off 75% of your current HP. Which is more or less how he's worked out. And I'm not gonna lie, but I think that's not as good. I don't like the way that that works now. I much preferred the original idea of having to toss up whether to use Teachings of Lifeblade for an entire fight or sections of a fight, and balancing it with the amount of damage that you're taking, the amount of damage that you're dealing. I know it turned it into a bit of a damage race, but I thought it was a really, really interesting damage race, and I really, really enjoyed it. That was kind of the main change that I noticed. A lot of spells have also been tweaked. For example, a lot of the fire spells are now weaker because they were unbalanced as hell, I learnt. A lot of the other magic spells also have slightly greater damage, I think. I'm not sure. I think Chain Lightning also has a slightly lower stun duration, so you can't just stun lock a boss repeatedly. However, Ashbringer can still stun lock the crap out of just about anything you use it on. Just about. So I think that still needs a little bit of work. Another notable change is you no longer get the double jump in the lightning set of spells. You don't get Volt, Boost, or whatever it is. The map has been altered appropriately, so you don't have to use a double jump anywhere to finish the game. Instead, there is a new crew member in one of the new areas that will sell you a double jump, essentially. Sell you a double jump, sells you like a mana regen increase, sells you combo +1, stuff like that. But be aware that you need a Rogue's Cowl, Magician's Cape, and Warrior's Plate. Like, you need one of each to buy everything that he has, essentially. So keep that in mind, or else you run into the same issue that I did where you don't have enough stuff to buy it. Angel Sapphires and Demon Rubies have had a huge boost to their drop rates, which I am so thankful for, because grinding for those things originally, considering that they were such a basic item, was bullshit. It was absolutely bullshit. But it's better now, so I think that's certainly worth it. The new bosses are great. The one boss that I haven't S-ranked thus far is incredibly painful, and it's more of an endurance fight. He has a lot of health, he does a lot of damage, but his moves are also not predictable, but they're certainly learnable. And I think that's what makes it a great fight. But I can I currently can't S rank him. I just need to work on it a lot more. The whole S rank feature has been changed up, which is good, and new things have been added essentially along the boss's health bar. On one side you'll have a timer countdown with your grade in brackets next to it, so it will say like 50 seconds S, and when that gets to 0 it'll change to the A rank. Then it'll say how long you have left to kill him to get the A rank, or to kill the boss to get the A rank. And on the other side it has combat percentage, and so the higher the percentage, the higher the S rank is, and so it's now less of a gamble to get an S rank, which is fantastic. I think it's definitely a well implemented and sort of needed update. I think the idea of going for all S ranks when you weren't quite sure if you were bordering on that A or S rank for time and all that kind of stuff was way too annoying, and I much prefer this. The worst update feature in this entire thing is the Demon Widow is now not a single enemy. There are two of them, not in the same place, but there are two fucking Demon Widows, and I hate those bitches. I hate those bitches so much. They're the worst enemy in the entire game. They are friggin' broken as all hell, and there are now two of them. That shit sucks. I'm sorry, but that shit sucks. That should not have been added in. I think that is a bad attack, because those things suck ass, and I would rather face 10 ogres than one of those. Anyway, I just thought I'd give a bit of an update, or I thought I'd give my feelings on the update, and tell you that if you haven't played it for a while, go back and play it. But anyway, that's all I really wanted to do in this video. I'll probably post some more videos about like the updated content in a while. I think I'm going to take a break from Valdis story for a little bit, but I'll definitely be coming back to it. Anyway, I hope you kind of enjoyed the video or learnt a little bit from this video, but until next time, have a good one and take it easy.